Hello and welcome back, survivors. This is Darius Torana, and we are here with Medieval Dynasty. I'm not sure if this is going to drop before or after my videos with Rave, but I do want to do a single player playthrough as well. I'm going to be playing that in the Valley, where you can only do single player, and it will be apparently the story of Racimir and his male descendants. So, here we go.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks, I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
Alright, so normally I'm going to call this a first look because it probably will release before my videos with Rave. However, a couple of caveats about this first look, and I'll put them in the description as well. Obviously, this game is not a newer game. I actually didn't know about it for a while, but this game is not as new as I thought it was. It's been out for, I guess, like a year almost. And normally when I do first looks, it's my first look at the game as well. However, you will get to see my first look at the game when Rave and my video drop. I can now give some honest opinions about this game. Because I have, between the playtime I did with Rave and the playtime I did with some other friends, Juke and his wife, I just started the game yesterday. Rave and I played almost 6 hours straight, and then Juke and his wife and I played 7 hours straight. Like, it was ridiculous just how much I have enjoyed playing this game so far. So I have about 13 hours under my belt at this point. I have made it, between the two games, I have made it to winter. So, hello. We'll go ahead and talk to him real quick before I continue. Those eyes, I didn't think I would see them again. One as blue as the sky and the other black like a lump of coal. I say, that's funny, my grandmother used to describe them exactly the same way. So you're not a ghost. Good, for a second there, I thought I'd lost it. Huh? Your eyes, they look just like him. Sorry, you must have mistaken me with someone. I'm actually new to these parts. I just arrived in the valley. My name's Racimir. I'm Wanda's son, aren't you? Jordan's nephew? What? Did you know my mother? Not really. I knew of her. We didn't ever actually meet. He wanted to keep his family separate. I don't think I understand. You will. Wait. What do you mean by did? I know her. Is she well? Or by did I know her? Is she well? I hope she is now, wherever that might be. I've lost both my parents in this war. Damn it! This war. I guess it can be as cruel as it is beautiful. Wait, oh, this world. I was like, this war, what? Sorry. This world, sigh. I guess it can be as cruel as it is beautiful. I'm sorry, my boy. Nobody should lose their loved ones at such a young age. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. Of course, my boy, of course, I apologize. You mentioned my Uncle Jordan. I actually came here looking for him. Oh, Ray Samir, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Your Uncle Jordan is no longer with us. He passed away 3 years ago. I'm so sorry. I understand how you must feel. He was a dear friend of mine. So that's it. I'm the only one left. Don't say that. Hey, look at me. The valley is filled with warm-hearted people who gladly aid you in whatever you need, and I'm one of them. So what should I do now? You're free to go wherever you like. Start a new life. I hereby grant you the permission of the Castellan to build a farm on any unutilized land in the valley. Construct yourself a house and see what comes next for you. You can even build a whole village if you please. There are many travelers passing through. Some of them would like to join your settlement. Well, you'd have to pay taxes to the king annually, but apart from that, you're free to do as you please, as long as you don't break the law, of course. Or at least, if you don't get caught doing so. That sounds amazing. The valley looks beautiful as well. I think I'll stay here and see what fate has in store for me. I'm glad to hear that. You can find resources all over the land. Grab a few rocks and sticks from the ground and craft yourself a simple axe. With it, you can cut down trees and chop them into logs. Then you can create a wooden hammer, and that will be crucial in the building process. I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. When you build yourself a home, come back to Gustovia and talk to my wife. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. She manages the tavern. Ask her to feed you. You must be famished. And then grab some beers for both of us and come back. I'll tell you stories about Jordan. Sounds like a plan to me. Alright, so collecting resources. All basic resources can be collected in the wild. Just look around and reach for them. Sticks are the easiest to find, but on the other hand, stones and herbs are much harder to spot. Move the cursor on to the desired item until its name is shown and collected. Resources are used for various purposes like building, crafting, healing, or eating. Alright. So like I was saying, I have about 13 hours in the game so far. That being said, I have not played any in the Valley. I have done all of my plays in the Oxbow, which is the multiplayer world. So I'm not sure how this one will play. I will say I'm a little sad that they don't allow for a custom character in this kind of story mode deal. So I don't think it would have been a bad thing, but you know, I guess it's not that big of a deal either. Like I said, you know, it's a fun game. Like, it's really fun. I probably should have read that. Oops. If you are too close to a city, you cannot gather resources. Or you can't chop down, like, trees and stuff in that. So I need to get far enough away. So where it says 100%, that's where I can gather stuff. So, the controls are easy to pick up. Like, very easy to pick up, honestly. I was actually surprised at just how simple it was for me. That being said, there are a couple things that I think some people would have issues with. Do I have issues with them? No. But there is, from what I've seen so far, no custom buildings. It's all prefabricated. I actually like that. I am not good at building, and so being able to just have some prefabricated buildings that come with some starting whatchamacallit, furniture and appliances, I guess you could say, is just great. Death is both not that big of a deal, but also a very big deal. So when you die in this game, which you'll probably see me die quite a bit because, as with all games I play, I'm not very good at it. But uh, if you die, you don't drop any of your items. So just right off the bat, that's really kind of nice. Not super survival gamey of this, I will admit. But I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad thing. And here's why. When you die, you don't gain back all of your health. You actually only gain back like a third of your health. And you no longer are full if you were full. You have to refeed yourself and everything. So, again, I don't think it's that big of a deal that they don't make you drop your items. In fact, it may, if they did make you drop your items, it may have been too much. Alright, I need to find a place to build my house. We're going to look at the map because I kind of want to go down here. I like being around big lakes and stuff. But at the same time, it's really far away from that starting city, which I'm going to have to go back to. I really want to go down there, though. I'm going to go down there. I had been searching for a good medieval survival game where you start off as a peasant or peasant adjacent, and then you just kind of work your way up from there. This has given me that so well, to the point that in the 13 hours that I've played it so far, I think it's becoming one of my favorite games that I've ever played. The controls are smooth. The building is smooth. The crafting of items and stuff is smooth. Like, it's just a really good game. And on top of everything else, something that while I love survival games, something that I've always thought most survival games lack isn't necessarily a story, which this one does have, and the multiplayer kind of has. Because the multiplayer and the single player are two different maps. You can play single player on the multiplayer map, but it does have two different maps, and it does have two different storylines. So, like this one, the storyline was a war broke out, your family died, and you are now going off to try and find yourself. The other one, you're actually a caravan going out to build a settlement, and you get attacked by bandits. So, all in all, ooh, I like this area. Is there water near here? Not really. It would be a pain in the butt to get straw here, so this would be a bad place. Well, actually, it would be hard to start the game there. Well, actually, no. You need straw. You need straw. But yeah, so that is what I kind of have to think about. That aspect of it, though, is like it is nice that like it has two different maps and two different storylines for those maps. Now, what I was saying before, though, about the what was I saying before? Oh, about what I like about it. It isn't necessarily that it has a storyline that I'm super happy about and that I like. what I'm really happy about is that it has NPCs in the world that like act and react to you. And I don't know necessarily how much your reputation and stuff will actually like have. Oh shoot, where's the wolf? All right, so we're gonna go around this way. Hopefully the wolf will get distracted by the deer. But the what was I saying? Oh, the fact that you have NPCs that like are so dynamic, like in the multiplayer storyline, like the Castellan's just such a jerk, and you just love to hate him. It's great. Now, in this one, it seems like people are going to be a lot nicer to you, which is good and fine. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it was definitely fun having a more antagonistic. That was cool. A more antagonistic uh, lifestyle with the. Jeez. With the NPCs, that I thought was silly and fun. Um, Now, the other neat thing though is, like in Conan Exiles and in Soul Mask, you can hire people, whereas in Conan and Soul Mask, you're basically enslaving them, which is problematic in its own right. But in this one, you actually get them as allies. Like they become your neighbors. This this is it. This is the spot. It's flat. There's tons of trees around. It's going to take a little bit of work to get stuff started, but like I can get my house built right here. So I can kind of show you guys the building. So houses. There we go. We're going to have it faced just like that, actually. All right, so now I've got I've got to equip my hammer. Equip. There we go. Up and boom. All right, so L2 to select build mode. The building hammer can be used for 3 different ways. It enables you to build structures, repair them, or destroy unwanted ones. The mode is selected through the select build mode menu while holding the hammer. Remember that you can turn off tutorials in the settings. Okay. So, okay, I apparently only had 1 stone. So I need to collect a bunch of stone now. But yeah, so you basically make neighbors, and then you can have them. You basically become the mayor of the town, and you tell people, hey, your job is going to be this. Go ahead and start doing your job. If they don't like you, though, and they're not happy, they'll just leave. Like, it's amazing. It honestly is truly amazing. And it was so much fun and so funny because, like, Rave and I, we set somebody to go and do stuff. And apparently, she didn't like what we set her to do, so she just left. And we didn't even realize it until we were sitting there like, oh, hey, she isn't collecting. I think we had her collecting wood. Yeah, it was so funny. There we go. All right, so we're going to head back here. Now, with all these trees around, I'm not even going to bother with the first style of building, which is funny because, like, so far I've really not bothered with the first style of building because I just don't like the way it looks. So we're just going to go ahead and boom and boom. There we go. Now, if I had planks, I would do this. Like, you won't need reeds once you start being able to build planks, other than some of the buildings don't have this edit menu. So, but for now, we're just going to do the straw. But yeah, so far, I have thoroughly enjoyed this game. Like, it's one of the most fun, if not the most fun, survival game I've ever played. Like, I'm trying to remember a time that I have had so much fun just running around panicking. Oh, I'm building the wrong thing. Dang it. And just doing crazy stuff. Alright, we're going to do a wall here. We're going to... Actually, no. We're going to do... I'd rather have my window... No, that's wrong. That's going to be a wall. Okay, wall. Wooden wall. Now you can see that I'm editing each of these. And that's just so that... A, I can get the walls and stuff that I like and that I want. But also, I'm changing them to wooden walls instead of the, like, wattle. So now it's just going to require logs. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to build a couple extra axes for myself, because when it breaks, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But if you have extra axes, it'll automatically equip your next one. There's also different tiers of wood. So right now I'm cutting spruce, which gives you 3 logs. If you cut birch, it gives you 2, and if you cut maple, it gives you 4. All of them take the same amount of wood, or the same amount of chops. So, as I see it, you may as well do the best one. So, now we go to the build menu and craft more. So I'm now going to craft 2 axes. So, people who have been in my channel long times know I try to be a positive person. I don't always succeed, but I do try. I also do try to give things a fairer chance sometimes than what they deserve. And sometimes I can... oops, looks like you've broken your first tool. Certainly not the last one. Craft more by hand, but they're cheap and fragile. It's why you should focus on producing and using metal tools with higher durability. If you have identical tool in reserve, you will immediately grab it after the old one breaks. Remember, you can turn off tutorials. But yeah, sometimes I do give unwanted praise to things. Like when I praised Thor: The Dark World as a great movie because I was nostalgic about the fact that I had gone with my dad, and my dad and I at the time didn't have the best relationship, and I wanted to have a really good relationship with him. We do now, so that's super good. But, yeah, at the time we didn't have the best relationship. And so it honestly was a nostalgia thing for me to say, hey, this movie was absolutely amazing. When in reality, the movie was terrible. It was unremarkable. It was not funny. It wasn't anything. So, yeah, don't watch Thor: The Dark World. That movie's bad. And it should feel bad. It said there's obstacles blocking this? I'm confused. Alright, do we have any other maple trees around? That looks like a maple tree. It is. That being said, though, and the reason I was bringing that up, so I obviously just gave this game pretty great praise, saying it is turning into one of my favorite games. That I don't feel is unwarranted praise. I am usually pretty hard on games, especially calling one of my favorites. This game has been everything I have really looked for in a survival game, other than the fact that it doesn't have dinosaurs. But unfortunately, what I look for in a survival game, and it honestly doesn't work if you really think about it, because like Ark is always going to be one of my favorite games, even though it's a mess. A game is an absolute mess, and we all know it. We love it because it's a mess. However, it is frustrating sometimes when playing Ark and that messiness happens. Again, we all know this. We are expecting it when we play Ark. I must have been standing near. That's why. Yep. So, that being said, one of my favorite things about Ark is obviously the dinosaurs. Unfortunately, what I want in a survival game is realism. I want kind of a more realistic type of a game. That obviously isn't Ark. Ark is super sci-fi fantasy. And like this game, however, it gives that realism. Now, again, I kind of wish that, like, I want this game, but I also want this exact game, but also with fantasy. But I want them as separate games. So it's complicated. Like, there is not a single game that I think could ever encompass everything I want in a survival game. I just don't believe that's possible for me. And that's not a bad thing. But this game is by far one of the closest games I've ever had to giving me everything I've ever wanted in a survival game. So, yeah. I know it is definitely high praise. I need to change up or I need to build a couple more hammers. Probably just one, for now at least. Eating is essential. When the food parameter is depleted, you will start to lose health. You can obtain various nutrients from foraging, hunting, and farming. All the food resources rot over time and may cause food poisoning. Discover different ways to preserve it for longer, such as drying, salting, or preparing meals. One, two. All right, so we need 4. Oops, that's still waddle. 8, 10. I think I have one more axe after this. Yeah. So there's 3. Oh, I leveled up. I need to pop over to my skill menu. Now, with all of my praise for this game, does that mean I am going to start dedicating my channel to it? Probably not. Probably. Does that mean, however, that I am most likely going to have a series at least going through the storyline of this game? Most definitely. I am very excited about playing this game. This game is immensely fun, and honestly, I'm a little upset that Ark is about to release an update, because it means it's going to take away my time from this game, because I have to get through stuff with Ark. And I understand, like, some people are like, whatever, just take your time. No, I want to get through. I want to give it my all, trying to get through the storyline maps of Ark before the next one comes out. So I am working really diligently through it, and obviously I'm taking time off right now, but that's just because I do have to have breaks from Ark every now and then, because that game is absolutely infuriating sometimes. And it can make it unfun. And I do play video games, even though now I do it as my job. I do play video games to have fun. I don't want to just be miserable while playing. Alright, guys. We got to get this attic done, and boom. Alright. Chapters are a series of missions that appear at the beginning of the game and introduce you to the game's mechanics. It also assists you in the initial stages of your new settlement construction. Completing chapters allows you to unlock the next development stage, which determines the maximum limit of buildings you can construct. Sorry if that sounded weird. All of a sudden, I had to scratch my ear. So, a couple of things. The chapters, well, obviously the storylines are different in the two maps. These are not the same. I haven't seen these, so I'm excited to try these out. But I want to give you a little tour of what you get in your house. So you get a bed for yourself, another double bed. You can also have, so you can get spouses, so double bed for you and your spouse and for your kid. Water hydration is crucial. In the wilderness, when water parameter is depleted, you will start to lose health. You can refill it by drinking various beverages. Water can be stored and transported in buckets and water skins. Alright, so first things first, we're going to pop over to here. We're going to put the logs away. I don't need those anymore. We're going to put the straw away. I don't need that anymore. I'm going to put the feathers away. I don't need those. I'm going to go get those logs because I do need those. Alright, construction. These are made out of logs, so I'm going to make a spear. I'm then going to make another spear because I should have just made two to start off with. Okay. Open chest. I don't know why I did that. Leave this area. I need more stones to make that knife. Stone, 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 stone. That should be enough. It is. Okay, broadleaf plantains. These things are cool. So if you look at the healing is very difficult in this game. You just heal slowly over time when you are at full food. And obviously with like this gives you 0.5 health per second. This, however, just gives you 5 health. So that's super useful. This one gives you 10% less food consumption. I'm going to go ahead and eat that. This one gives less stamina consumption. I'm going to go ahead and eat that. That will put me at 100 food, so we're all good to go there. We're going to go and get some water. Now, you can do one of a couple things. First things first, I want to look at my map. And I want to go over to the wild animals. And I want to zoom in where I'm at. And look where the nearest rabbit is. So it's up there. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and put our cursor up there. We're now going to look at the traps. and see what I need. I need 10 sticks, which I absolutely have. I've never used a trap before, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to head this way and hopefully run into a rabbit area earlier. But if you look at the top left part of the screen as we're running, you'll notice words pop up every now and then there. Obviously, they're not popping up now because I'm trying to show you guys. But if you look back in the video to when I was exploring more, it will tell you what areas. That's how I knew I was about to run into wolves. There we go. Discovered animal spot hawk. That means hawks will spawn around the area up here. And that's why I knew to go over here for rabbits. So this is a rabbit spot. That right there is a rabbit. I am going to just try to hit it with a spear from where I'm standing. Now, spears do have a lot of dip. Wow, not as much as I thought, apparently. There we go. You have to have a knife to be able to skin the rabbit. But that gave me 2 fur and 2 meat. Every time you throw a spear, it loses 20 durability. And now, while we're here, we will set up a rabbit trap. Alright, so we got a rabbit trap set up. So now we should be able to catch some rabbits. And hopefully find our way back to our house. Because I don't have it marked at all. Let's make sure I'm not running the wrong way. Okay, I'm not. Because the wrong way will take me to that wolf den. Yeah, there are definitely things that I could see people potentially complaining about with this game. However, just about every complaint that I can come up with for this game, I don't have as a complaint. Now, does that mean that I think this game is perfect? No, it's not, because there's no such thing as a perfect game. There's my house. However, the things that I can see as being potentially issueful could actually be very detrimental. Like the fact that the maps don't really change. Things on the maps may change a little bit, but the maps don't really change at all between games. And like with Ark, I don't know, maybe that's not as big of a detriment as I think. Because like Ark maps don't change, Conan's maps don't change. In fact, I think only Valheim's out of the ones I've played do. And to me, that's amazing. I think that's a great thing. But yeah. Just so you know, with the survive for a season, 3 days is a season in this game. So it's not that long. We are going to deposit that fur. We want to get as as little weight on us as possible. We are going to go ahead and just deposit those plantains. We'll deposit the apples We're going to keep the dried meat on us. We'll deposit the stones, and we'll deposit the sticks. One thing I do need to do, however, is... Okay. It did automatically assign me, so that's good. So now we just need to head back to town. How long have we been recording? Oh, 40 minutes already. So this is going to be our first episode then. We got through the first day. We're into the first night. We have survived, so that's good. Like I was saying, seasons are 3 days long, so we've got 2 more days after this one before summer hits. So yeah, but that being said, thank you guys so much for joining today. If you did enjoy the episode, slap a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, until next time, keep on surviving.